M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. It's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at about the 31. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So here are the Ravens with great field position to start out. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11.
And the Bengals are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Young. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now Burrow. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 79 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So they'll get 8 out of that. Completion. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Throw. Touchdown! T. Higgins, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore.
Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And he's got it it to make it 7-0 Bengals. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a Bengals score. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he...
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and 14. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Ferguson. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, Ferguson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A 2nd down carry for Ferguson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st down, Ferguson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll hand it off to Ferguson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Ferguson on 3rd and short. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. trying to run down here with Ferguson. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Room to run past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And he's taken down inside the 30.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
First down, here's Burrow. Open man left side, it's the tight end Trimble. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second and 6. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players. And glad to have you, because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
Fielded at about the 28. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Now Burrow on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. A couple of touchdowns there for Cam Akers. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Green Bay to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so and he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
On second down now, Singletary. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. He finds his man complete. That's Baker. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Harrison. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
68 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Ferguson, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On the handoff, this is Ferguson, and he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
and you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. And out now, here come the Bengals. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. There's Tremble, the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They go right back to Singletary. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, 4th coming.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop him. I like the confidence he showed.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st down, it's Ferguson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got Harrison left side complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Ferguson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run on 1st down. Ferguson, and he gets it down to the 32. 97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Running again, and again it's Ferguson. Finding room to the 20, and finally taken down at the 15. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the 1 and even the score?
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
Here we go. Ready?
Singletary to get the drive started. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
They're probably about 1 big play from getting into field goal range. I'd go with a 2 deep coverage, make sure my safeties are back to cover all of the field deep.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately,
Enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Bengals, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is